Now, what about the patches? I know you've been waiting for this part. Yeah, so we've had, of course, a number of changes in the way we make claims, but what we're going to talk about are studies that we've done that you can find in the back office. And since 2005, we've been doing clinical studies on our patches using techniques like heart rate variability to look at what are the effects of the patches on the heart. Oh, by the way, I should probably mention, my patch protocol today. X39 on the back of the neck, X49 below the belly button. I've got a set of energy patches on kidney 1 on the bottom of my feet. And of course, I have patches on heart 3 on my elbow. So I wanted to patch the heart meridian since we're talking about heart to heart. So we have done studies on X39 as well as our other patches at improving the health of the heart. And it happens very, very quickly. With X39 in as little about 6 weeks, we see measurable improvements. Now, there's this little thing called copper peptide. And as it turns out, if you go take a look at the research that Dr. Lauren Picard has done since the late 1960s, there is a very strong correlation between levels of copper peptide in the body and the health of the heart. And of course, longevity. And these effects are directly attributed to the ability of copper peptide to have favorable gene expression. Okay, and that's an example of one of the studies. Now, we've also done studies, as I mentioned, on energy enhancer. This one was done by Homer Nazaran, a biomedical engineer at the time at the University of Texas in El Paso. But with techniques like heart rate variability, which measures the ratio of muscle contractions between the chambers of the heart, low frequency and high frequency muscle contractions, we can see the effects of our product on the autonomic nervous system. So if we can get the body into a more relaxed state, that's going to have a favorable change on heart rate variability, and ultimately that'll show as an improvement in the health of the heart. Sorry, I've got to keep moving here. I'm a little bit behind. This is another study by Tom Budzinski, and again, you can get this in your back office, and it's showing very, very similar benefits. Now, carnosine is stored in the brain and the heart and the muscles. It's for anyone that has a problem with their eyes, there are carnosine drops that you can take. So if you have high blood pressure and now you're having a problem with your vision, you should be thinking about carnosine. But you can actually, in Europe, it's prescribed as medication for the health of the eyes, and you can get it here now in the United States. But because carnosine is an antioxidant, it's an anti-inflammatory, what we found when we studied carnosine and heart health was that even within the first week, it was going to show very, very significant improvements in strength and stamina. So this is important because if you're getting started with a health and fitness routine, this can really jumpstart your results, and this will keep you motivated. You know, if you're going to see results as little as your very first week, the odds of you continuing are pretty high. Okay, and another important thing about carnosine, very, very interesting thing about this nutrient, well, two things. One that I will just say, this study was done by oral carnosine, is that it protects the telomeres from shortening. So in animal studies, in mice and rats, carnosine has been shown to increase lifespan by 35 to 40%. But even maybe more impressive is that the animals do not age until the very, very end of their lives. So it's like they stay 25, you know, right up until the very end. The other thing about carnosine for athletes is that it's going to act as a buffer for lactic acid. So what that means is that when you're competing or exercising and trying to improve stamina, it's going to help set off that muscle burn and allow you to perform longer and better. Not surprisingly, Eon, because it's for stress reduction, is going to have a very, very favorable effect on the human heart. So this is all to say that there are any number of patches that we sell that have favorable, beneficial effects on the heart, but through different mechanisms. So, work with your practitioner on, or just try things and see which product is going to be right for you, which is going to be the best one to use for yourself. But I would always recommend starting with X39 and then going from there, since the effects are so broad. So the bottom line on this is speak with your doctor first and work with your healthcare practitioner at putting together a program that makes sense for you. And think about these things in terms of long-term benefits, not that you're going to do it for a month or 2 months. Really be looking at the big picture. Also, be thinking about, why is it that you're going to be doing this? Think about the people in your life that love you and that you love, and you want to be in their lives for as long as possible. And so you're only going to be able to do that if you're around and you're healthy. So, be thinking about these things for motivation. And then I think lastly, what has been proved definitively is that when we live in a state of anger, aggression, stress, it elevates oxidative stress in the body, it elevates inflammatory stress, and it is going to be a contributor to heart disease. On the other hand, it has been absolutely proven in studies that when we live in a state of love, it reduces stress in the body and it reduces our risk of disease. So let's be thankful for what we have. Let's love one another, put aside our hatred and anger, and make this planet a true paradise to live in. Thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all back tomorrow. Thank you.